I am Kayla.
Hi guys, I'm Tess.
And I'm Kayla.
And today we are
Ew, I didn't like that. Do it over.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Tess.
I am Kayla.
I don't know. Today we're doing the Our First Time tag. Ooh. So again, like last time, I have all the questions written on my phone. I'm gonna let Kayla start.
First time you talked, did you make me start so I could say the word talk? And you could make
With her New York accent.
the first time you talked when we introduced each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you define talk? Just like spoke words or had a conversation?
Like the first time we spoke words to one another. So when we met at my apartment in Chicago, and you can get more on that on our girlfriend tag video. So we'll just link that down below. Your first phone call. We talked on the phone. I think it was on the phone. We didn't FaceTime for our first phone call.
Yeah, probably.
Because we were on the phone for like 6 hours, I think.
I don't think that was our first though.
No?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but there was one where it was like 6.5 hours long phone call.
Mind you, this was 3 years ago, and I have the worst memory ever. So if anything, Kayla's gonna remember it because I most definitely am not. I just remember us talking on the phone one of the first times, and like
it was early.
I was so nervous, and then it ended up the longer we talked, it like went away. But I'm not sure I remember when our first phone call was. I just remember it being like one of the first times we talked. It was like 6 hours, and we talked like all through the night.
Yeah.
So that's really all I remember.
First FaceTime call. When we first started talking, we used Skype and not FaceTime.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know when it was, but it was definitely before you came to visit me. So it was within the 3 weeks that, yeah, we definitely Skyped before.
I'm not
so
sure
it was between March 3rd and the end of March.
The first time you met in person. Can I tell this?
Besides the first time we met?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna talk about the first time we met in person because we already like literally went over that to a T. I would like to talk about the first time we met in the airport, like hadn't seen each other since the first night we actually met, which we had only, the first night we met, we hung out, we were together for how many hours probably? Because your train was at like midnight. Yeah, the first night we met, we were with each other for 3-4 hours tops. And then she left, went home, and then the next day we had talked. She had texted me, yada, 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 whatever. And then the first time I flew out to actually see her, I was a nervous wreck. I was shaking on the plane, but it was absolutely amazing. Were you nervous?
Yeah.
It was so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Like, I saw her, like, she was like standing up against the wall, like, yeah. You were like all cool, like up against the wall.
So cool.
Like, I'm such a stud. Did I walk or run up to you? I don't know. I just remember her picking me up and we hugged, and did we kiss?
Yeah, it was against the wall that we kissed.
I just remember she picked me up and I was like, oh my God, I'm in love. I loved everything about it. It was amazing. It was a good time.
Yeah. I think at that point I was still kind of like a little immature, so I was kind of hiding my nervousness by like playing it cool, whatever.
But I was like literally like shaking. My palms were all sweaty. I'm sure like she could just feel like my bones and my like fingers just like shaking. I wish I remembered it more vividly because
so do I.
It was a good day.
Coffee. First date. Olive Garden?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I picked Tess up from the airport in Albany, we went right from the airport to Olive Garden. Delish.
I don't think we've been back to Olive Garden since.
No.
We've been meaning to go. There were days where like, oh, we'll go to like...
No, we had a really good anniversary.
Yeah, our anniversary dinner was great.
I mean...
I'm gonna go.
I would down.
We had driven from the airport to Olive Garden. I don't know how we picked Olive Garden.
Well, it wasn't too far from the airport.
So like we sat across from each other. Now like if we're at a restaurant, we sit right next to one another. Like we can't get enough of each other. I remember us like kind of playing footsie and like touching each other's legs. It's really sad because like we had some good times together and I wish we remembered them better.
I mean, they were 3 years ago. We were at least remember, at least we didn't just forget altogether.
Yeah, and we haven't been dating like full circle.
We didn't have a lot of time like being together as a couple in a relationship to like reminisce being in a relationship because it was so short.
Yeah.
First kiss.
First kiss was, Kayla said in her last fucking bell. I'm shutting the windows.
Go ahead, I don't even know why they're open. Excuse me.
Yeah, our first kiss was like an hour and a half after we had first met one another in the bathroom.
Like we met each other.
I
She
was
just kissed me because she liked me. It doesn't matter if she was drunk.
No, I was not gonna say that. I was gonna say that I had been kind of like all over you before we even kissed.
Yeah.
The other two people that we were with had like gotten up to go on the dance floor, and we were like, okay, why the heck did our friends leave us? Like, we don't even know each other. This is gonna be completely awkward. And when I get in an awkward situation, I'm like, oh my God, I strive to pick something to talk about in order to make it not awkward, because I hate awkward situations. So I try and make everybody like as comfortable as possible. I don't know why I thought this was a good conversation, but I started talking to the girl about frickin' chicken Kiev, showing her pictures of the difference between cordon bleu and chicken Kiev on my cell phone. So I made my way around the table and was like sitting on her lap.
Cue the cricket sounds.
Chicken Kiev.
Our first fight. I don't remember. If it was over anything, it was probably over just like us not being able to see one another, or us like not answering another person's phone call, something stupid. Our fights aren't very, I wouldn't say memorable, just because like we don't have terrible fights. We're good at kissing and making up, I'd say.
Yeah. First time we said I love you.
This one's my favorite.
So tell it, girl.
No, I want you to tell it.
We were laying in bed in Chicago in Tessa's apartment, and Tess had something to tell me, and she was like, I think I'm falling in love with you. And I was like, oh. I was like, I think I'm falling in love with you too. Then like, the same week before I left, I was like, can you remember when I said I think I love you? And then she's like, yeah. And then I was like, well, I don't think, or
You just ruined that.
shut up. Remember when I said, remember when I said, remember? I said, remember when I said I think that I'm falling in love with you? She was like, yeah. And then I was like, well, I don't think that I'm falling in love with you. I know that I'm falling in love with you. And then it was so romantic.
You're romantic.
You are romantic.
I know I am.
Okay.
I'm very romantic.
This is the very strict plane that I'm on.
What kind of name is that?
Stove. Are you an appliance?
First road trip was recently, actually. I flew out to Buffalo, New York before we moved here to Wisconsin, and we drove.
Yeah.
We drove 6 the second day, and we drove 5 for 6
Okay,
the first day.
Probably 12.
Yeah. Okay, that's our first road trip. Nothing too exciting, just moving in with one another.
exciting.
I think I was sick.
Yeah.
There's a vlog on it, just go watch it.
First concert. We haven't gone to a concert yet.
Yes, we have.
Which
I
one?
knew you weren't gonna get this
Which one?
It was impromptu. We went to, where were we? We were either in Pennsylvania or Ohio or something.
Oh yeah!
And we went to some like, I don't know if it was like a festival.
Yeah, it was probably like, they probably did it like weekly, like back home in Albany. They have this thing called the Live at 5, and they get like bands and like vendors and everything every Thursday.
Yeah.
So they had like a stage and
They had like beer
cover bands
tents and yeah, it was a bunch of cover bands, and
yeah, it was good.
it was it was like kind of just cast over day, and it was by the lake. It turned out to be like a really good night. First plane ride with one another.
Forget about this one too.
Yeah, no, we haven't flown together yet.
We will.
We don't have a trip planned, but we know we will.
We will,
And we are looking forward to it, because if you're ever in a long distance relationship, you're always flying to one another, and you don't get that luxury to fly with one another. So, really excited about that.
Yeah. Can I pee quick?
Sure. Bye. So, Kayla's in the bathroom. I just like want to talk about how much she smells. Like she showered, but I don't think she cleaned very well. She is just stinky today. Like whenever she puts her arms on, it's just like heat radiating. Oh my God, you're a stinky girl. We had a good one-on-one talk while you were gone.
Well, I think after this I'm gonna shower again. I don't think I smell very good.
Don't know.
First time we farted around one another.
Yeah, don't know. But I know that we were not shy about it.
Yeah, it was pretty casual.
Even now.
Oh, it's gross in our household. I tried to stir one up in the bathroom, but...
First vacation.
Boston.
I don't know though, because some people consider like taking off work for a 3-day weekend is like a vacation.
Okay, so if that, then it's the first time she came to see me. If not, if we're doing it leaving from our homes, it would be Boston. We went to Boston twice.
But the first time we ever went to Boston, like this was like a vacation vlog that I had put up. And this was when I like first started YouTubing. I've deleted like all my videos since, but like I started YouTubing probably 5 years ago. That's why like everything that's happening right now with like people actually like caring to watch us, like it's just like crazy to me because it never happened to us before. But we put up like a vlog style video with no words in it or anything. I think I got like a copyright notice because I used an entire song in it or something. Yeah, I'll link that down below because that's one of my favorite ones because it was just like, I don't know, it's like a take me back type vlog. Like it was it was a really good vacation. And I'm excited that like that was the last question because that was a really good one. Go over there and watch that one we were just talking about because that's a good one.
Not the Christmas one.
Well, I'll link it down below so they know exactly which one.
Tune in next week
when we
return
on
YouTube.
Adios, amigos. Kayla's getting really impatient, so we're gonna end this video and we haven't eaten yet today, so we're really hungry. So she's thinking about food and she's not thinking about you guys, so I apologize for that. She gets really, really rude when she's hungry. It's actually, it's called hangry, if you haven't heard of it. We're gonna go eat food. See ya. See ya.